All right, let's get going. Had a lot of fun with this guy. Had this basic shape for a head and kind of this bell shape for a body in mind, and I just wanted to do this little goblin guy, this something kind of fun and wacky. Had an idea for the eyes and the mouth, wanted this big frog-like mouth, a lot of wrinkles, a lot of movement going on in the face, and I kind of wanted that. And then to just play with it. Liked a lot of the medievalness of it. I wanted some chainmail and a vest and belts and buckles and boots and all these different things. It kind of reminded me, and I was kind of playing around with the idea of those goblins and demons that serve Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty, if you remember that. Those guys were a lot of fun, just a lot of fun different shapes, and you could really play with those guys. This isn't a hero that has to adhere to a lot of different rules about what a hero looks like. This guy can be weird. The shapes on the staff can be really jagged and strange, and he has these pieces attached to it, and his ears can, all this stuff can just be a lot funkier and just playful. So having a lot of fun with that. Thrown in details. I had, like I said, the basic shape, the bell shape of the body, but a lot of the details are just going to come in the drawing. The manacle on his wrist, some bones hanging from his belt, the fringes on the vest or the buckles on the vest, whatever, going in there and just really as it's happening, just go around the drawing. I've talked about this before, that I like to go rough to more detailed or vague to more detailed, where start with these basic shapes and then you just kind of wander around the whole thing instead of just concentrating on one specific thing. You wander around the drawing and let things kind of happen as it keeps going, and there's never one point that is entirely ignored and never one part that's entirely done either. It's all just kind of coming together at once. And I learned that a lot in figure drawing, just going in and trying to make sure you have the whole thing. And I'll go in and add some details here or there, coloring in the belt, doing the boots. Now that the head's a bit more done, starting to add some darker lines in there. That's why I love the red pencil, because it can just go so light and just, I kind of feel like I'm sculpting with the pencil a little bit, that I can just, like here in the underside of the jaw there, just kind of carve in some of these wrinkles and some of those folds and things. And it really, you can do that because it's so light. You can just kind of play around until you get what it is that you need there. And any mistakes that you make, they're just going to be so light, they're just going to disappear. Coming in here now with a lot of the chainmail. As I'm looking at it, I really kind of like this fish scale pattern going on there. I'm even going to go in later and add a bit more detail to it and make it a bit more chainmail-like. But really kind of like that you have these big areas where, like the vest, a big flat area versus this area of a lot of different texture going on there. Something that I think I saw in the art of How to Train Your Dragon, the guy who did that, Nico Marley, had like all the scales in there, and you can kind of feel the texture going on in the drawing. So I wanted a bit of that with the chainmail, that you can kind of feel that there's a bit of bumpiness to it. It's not just this simple shape. Going in on all the hands and things, detailing up, shading in some of the boots and stuff like that. I kind of left that shield arm for the end there, just because I wasn't sure, what am I going to do with his arm, with his fist, and now finally I've run out of things to do, so now I got to do it. And as I start playing around, I find something that's just fine. But occasionally there's an area you're just like, I don't know what's going on here quite yet, so I'm gonna put it off. As much as I say, go around the whole drawing and don't leave anything off, and then I totally go and do that. But throw in there some details and some stuff, just kind of the back of a wooden shield, shade that a little bit, push it back, give it a bit of grain, to the wood in there, just a touch there. A couple more details in on the face. And here we go. So for the next little bit, I've decided I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna add some texture to this chainmail. I'm gonna go in and do that. So just going in and detailing up the chainmail there and having some fun with that, and just enjoying just really noodling in. Occasionally you can really get into those details, and that can be a lot of fun to just lose yourself in those. I also like how it sets his face off there quite a bit. The darkness of his vest and the chainmail makes his face kind of pop out a bit more, which I really liked. Adding up the final details, and that is gonna do it. Thanks for watching today's drawing. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment at the bottom if there's something specific you want to see drawn, and maybe it'll make it into a future video.